Wow.
Hey guys, how are you? You can go get it. It's okay. Sorry, Mark had to go. He needed to grab the mouse so that he can control comments for me. Because anybody that's watched us ever knows that we are not good about. I am not good about controlling comments and talking and getting off topic. So how's everybody doing tonight? I see that we have Miss Margie in here. Hello, Margie. We have Jeremiah. You were waiting a long time for us. Well, I appreciate that you were here, Jeremiah. How has your evening been so far? Are you guys done with school? I think you guys are done with school, aren't you?
Wasn't Jeremiah in classes?
Yeah.
You were saying?
I think you're done, aren't you?
Oh, there's no.
Oh man, I have exploded my pen. What's going on? Oh, take this out. I don't need this.
Okay.
Trying to get Josie's pictures on the computer for 4-H.
Yep. Trying to work on last second 4-H stuff.
Well, not last second. We're not last second at all. We're
That kiddo right there.
in the middle. Yeah.
And you're just covering my face.
I know. With my whole finger.
Yeah. So we're quickly entering that point in the year where I'm becoming a 4-H Nazi. You say good until tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I've got all your books laid out over here, and I've got pages marked where you need to work to. So yeah, we're getting ready to go full swing into 4-H on top of everything else that we've got going on. And allergies are trying to kill me the last couple of days. He's not slept because I snore when I have allergies. So he's probably tired like I'm tired.
A little bit.
I can admit it. I snore. I don't care.
Oh, Adrian's here tonight.
Hey, Adrian, how are you?
Jeremiah said, I'm done with the EOG, a.k.a. end of grade test.
Good. That's really good to hear. I know that's always a big load off after you're done.
Get a good grade on that.
Hello, R. Wallace from Dusty Goat Homestead, correct? Am I right? I try to remember things, but I'm not really good at it. Hello, Emma.
Emma's
How is our friend
tonight.
Emma? Emma, I still need to watch your video on saving your chicken's little broken leg. I still need to watch Adrian's video on the split and queen marking because I'm just really behind on everything. So what's new, guys? What's going on in your guys' week? Because we got a whole lot going on over here.
Like a lot of rain.
Yeah,
It rained
a lot of
all
rain
day today. Ashley took off work
to try to get things done so I could quit freaking out, and it rained all day, and I didn't get to do
but
anything.
she did get our meat chickens.
I did get meat chickens. No, did not do that yet. That's okay.
So yep, she ran and got
It
those.
was torture. Yeah.
Are they downstairs?
No, they're out in the brooder.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
It's warm enough now that I don't need to have them inside. Like the nighttime temps are about 50 to 60, and I have a heating plate out in our brooder in the barn. And these guys eat and poop really fast. They grow super, super fast. So like it just seems better to keep them out there. And I'll eventually move them to grass when they get old enough to be out on the lawn.
And then Ashley worked on these, as you can see in the background.
Yeah.
Those
Look at all the frames I put together today.
Yeah.
Those are all frames. We've got so much going on, guys. Like I don't even know where to start. Like I've got a list written in front of me. But
hives coming too.
yes, we have more hives. Yeah, we do, don't we?
Yeah.
We bought another one.
Box.
Swarm season has been insane here.
Yeah.
And people are starting to figure out that we beekeep, so we're actually getting a lot of calls to come get swarms. The only bad thing is when people call us to get swarms, we're usually like out of town, or we're like out at a family gathering, or we can't get there right away. We're having to go home and get our stuff and then come back. And we missed out on a second swarm yesterday. I was coming home, I was getting all my stuff together because they've been hanging out for like 2 days. And we had this rain coming today. I'm like, if they haven't moved, I will be a monkey's uncle. Yeah. Like there's no way this swarm is still in the tree. But I couldn't get out there because I had to work, and we don't have enough out of equipment, and that's why we've got everything going on over there. So
Oh, Patty's here tonight.
Hello, Patty.
So yeah, when we went to pick up like our fool's hive set from the place that where they actually made it, the guy there said he'd have gotten 15 swarms this summer already. So
like in 2 weeks. Like
he wasn't very far from us. He was probably like a half
He was actually a little bit more northern. He was more in the Dayton, Ohio area. But he's like, I started with 10 hives. He was up to 25, and he's like, that's not including the nukes full of swarms that I've caught within the last 2 weeks. So, yeah. And
wow, Adrian, warm, 100 degrees today.
It has not been getting that warm here yet.
No.
It's just been raining and raining and raining. I wish I could share my rain with you, though, and you could share your heat with us.
So, gotta keep the swarm stuff in the vehicle during swarm season.
It was funny. We had just taken it out, though, for like the lawn chairs to go where we were going.
It was so close to our house. I mean,
it was literally like 15 minutes away.
The problem was we were like an hour away.
And then had to come
my family's
home.
house, my aunt's,
It was crazy.
swimming.
And then, of course, like, yeah, we were swimming, and it was on Sunday. And here, it only got to like a high of 70.
Yeah.
But the kiddos were still swimming in the pool.
Whoa,
They have
look
like
at
their
the rainbow
thermal.
at the window.
Oh, wow.
It's a really bright
It
one.
looks like it's like in our field.
Yep.
Sorry, there's just like a little bit of rain,
Yeah.
and the sun is finally peeking through.
Yeah.
Figures
So we got
right
like
now.
a really bright rainbow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Joe, if you
Super
find a
bright.
pot of gold, you have to share it.
Yeah. Why don't you grab your camera and take a picture of that for 4-H?
I
There
don't
you go.
see nothing.
You don't see a
The
rainbow,
coloring thing?
dude. It's like right there. The kid's
I
blind.
don't know how she's
Oh,
gonna
I
take a
see
picture.
it
She
now.
can't see it.
Oh, there's one over there too.
Or Wallace said your bees have been giving you a hard time.
Yeah, that one didn't want to stay put. And honestly, we actually got our answer to that though, because those plastic nukes, Mark's like, I bet those get really hot because they don't breathe. And we were actually talking to this guy from Dayton, and he's like, oh man, you can't leave those out in the sun here. They overheat so fast. He's like, it'll look like they're getting ready to swarm, but they're actually just, everybody's out on the front porch bearding because it is just so hot. So, because I was showing him stuff, and it was really nice to get to talk to someone who like goes around and catches swarms. He calls himself a bee rescue, so that was kind of fun to talk to him in person.
Jeremiah
Hello,
said,
Tasha.
I had to take our long test, and it's so fun to be in a live chat.
Oh,
Well,
yay!
glad
I'm glad
you're
that
here.
you're here, Jeremiah, and I'm glad that you got through your long
Hopefully
test.
we give you a break from all those
Yes.
long tests.
Hopefully.
Eugene
Yes.
says big cardboard boxes work fine for catching too. Yep.
Yeah.
We did that with our first.
We did that with our first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been actually at work like 2 weeks ago. They asked like, "Do you want to go get the swarm?" It was on the baseball field, but I'm like, I don't have anything with me, and
It's good to see
I think
him
like another beekeeper.
being that common. I don't remember it being
yeah.
this.
But
like,
we didn't
frequent
beekeep before, so
since-
like we weren't really aware. But like it's funny because like I work with about 15 or 16 other beekeepers, so I was like, well, I don't get off for like another 3 hours, but I know so and so in the electrical department is getting off in an hour. You may want to call him. And I think he did end up going over there, and he had a nuke in his car because, like you said, Adrian, in swarm season, you just keep the stuff in your car. So
Yeah.
we'll probably just have to start doing that. But I don't know. I think we're at 5 hives right now. We, after the first 2 split and we caught the swarms off of them, we said our cap is 6. We're already at 5. So, yeah. And we've actually missed 2 swarms. One left
but we've
quickly
been
and
known to
one
bend
left
our
after a
rules,
while.
so we end up with more.
We could, and we've been buying
We always
lots
like
of
try to
bee
set a
equipment.
limit, and then we just go over that limit.
Look at the
It
goats.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Look at our goats. I think I was like, I only want like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Here I am, like in the 30s right now.
So
It's been crazy. Don't be jealous. I'll send you some of the honey, Emma. Because that reminds me, our hives are completely honey bound. Like the CC hive and the Buckeye hive that swarmed are 100% honey bound. A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. So it's raining today. It's raining tomorrow. Friday we've got something. We probably have a ball game tomorrow.
Chris's Clovercraft.
Hello, Chris's Clevercraft. How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah.
So this weekend I have to get in, and I really need to pull some frames and give them blank frames because there's like no brood.
We got 4-H. Josie's got softball. We got a ton of church stuff.
Yeah.
We always
And a ton of family stuff. Like our families really like to get together, especially in the summertime. And
we do
it's
have a
just
lot
hard.
of birthdays and stuff too.
Well, May is a birthday month for us.
Yeah.
So we're out of May. So hopefully we're done here for a little bit on birthdays.
Hattie said, "You all have me looking in trees as I drive, watching for swarms here. It's addictive."
It is addictive.
That's awesome. Just be careful though while you're driving.
Yes. Don't cause a wreck.
We don't want something to happen to you.
Don't cause a wreck. But I enjoy talking
fun
to like
hunting for 'em.
It really is. And actually, the people that called us Sunday, Joe goes to school with her granddaughter, and we were just talking to them. It's really fun to talk to people that have like no idea about beekeeping, because what had happened is they had a swarm and they showed it to me. It was in a lilac bush. So obviously our 5th hive will be called the lilac hive. And by the time we got there, they're like, "There's a problem." I'm like, "What's the problem?" Like, now there's a swarm up there. Like some left from here and went over there. And why would they do that? It was super high up in a tree. And I was like, I'm not doing that again. I was going to bring a box and hope they came down to it, but it just didn't work out that way. And was explaining, like sometimes swarms have multiple queens in them. They're just, the hive's just trying to up their odds on survival, because just because there's a queen in a swarm doesn't mean that queen will always survive to perform her duties as a queen.
Got Bomber Steve in there.
Hello, Bomber Steve.
From Australia.
How are you? I heard you don't have hot water. Is that true? Because that sucks.
Yeah. Ashley cannot make it very long with
No,
hot.
I need hot water. I need to have like
That helps her sleep.
scalding water to bathe in, or I'm not going to be able to be
Her and
comfortable.
Joe like to take baths at night or before they go to bed, help them sleep. But if I end up taking a shower,
He's awake for hours.
Plus, it's usually cold after all this. So.
If
Which I don't mind
if you
it.
would tell
I don't
me though.
I don't like mine super
Well,
scalding
he's
hot,
normally
so
a morning shower, so I don't ever like think about his well-being when it comes to
it works out.
the water, because I'm like, well, he just does it in the morning, so I don't have to worry about it.
Adrian said, I love swarm catching, but I decided it's more responsible to have less hives during this drought.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would have to, especially in your guys' climate. But like, see, that's such a good point too, though, because then you've said it before in your videos that beekeeping is local, you know.
You have a head behind you. It was Joe's head.
It's Joe. She's
floating around in the background.
The window right now because I'm confused. It's not raining on our deck.
Yeah, we got this weird light
field.
because the clouds finally broke apart enough, and it's been raining all day, so you get that like filtered sunlight.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Like it is golden hour right here. That's why I'm like, Joe, go grab your camera and go take pictures for 4-H, because I'm like, it's golden hour. It's perfect lighting outside. But
okay, I'm gonna go watch the rainbow show.
All right, have fun.
Mom.
Our wall said, I'd love to have some fresh honey as
it
well.
was good. So like we were cleaning out some bridge honey between like the two honey supers, and it was intact. And Mark and I were just sitting there and just like putting it in our mouths and just sucking the honey out of the wax.
Yep.
It's got to be clover honey because we have not fed, but it's very, very clear. It's very, very, very light. So I'm guessing, and we just had clover come in here.
We have so many cicadas. They're all over the hives. And then we cleaned out like all the extra beeswax, and there was like 2 or 3 I got trapped in the honey.
Like, and I'm like, you can just stay there.
They just land everywhere.
You know what? I should have just eaten a cicada. Then I could have said I had a honey glazed cicada.
There you go.
I bet it would have made it good. Yeah. But he was freaking out and like flipping around. He was kind of wigging me out a little bit.
I was like, it could be me too.
Mark's out there flipping around on the ground.
I do get jumpy when they land on me. I ain't gonna lie. Plus the fact I'm like slightly allergic, so I get freaked out if they don't sting me.
Well, you're already on high alert when we're in the hive.
Yeah, that one sting I got on my wrist finally healed. I was like, what, 3 weeks ago?
That was almost a month ago.
Yeah, I got
like really. So and we got in. You guys will see the video. I don't know when you're gonna see the video.
Emma said, I see the kiddo behind you.
I know, she's crazy. I have to apologize though. I probably will not get a video out this week. I just got to cut myself some slack to get things done. So like I've got so many videos that are like halfway worked or almost there, but stop telling me what to do.
Tell it to do not.
Hey, I tell my bot to tell you.
So it's Ashley. You can blame that.
Yes. Hello, Brigitte. How are you? And Darren.
Yep, got him. What's up, guys?
Were you talking about the exact same thing? That's hilarious. Grapevines think alike, right?
Patty said we had a water heater go out our first year of marriage and used water heated on the stove and a bond pump to make the shower. It worked great. It was a perfect 5-minute shower.
Yeah, that's really all you need, right? 5 minutes.
Yeah, it works.
He likes to take longer showers.
You just get a hot tub and then you can just use
I'm okay with that. I would like that.
Darren said Brigitte was wearing a bath and I was jumping in the shower. Yeah. They keep getting better with those tankless water heaters too. We looked into those and like we're all electric, so we don't have anything that's like propane or anything like that. So once those get better, we'll probably switch to one of those. But because I heard like they can keep a good supply. That well water though, when it comes out, if you turn our water to cold, like it is ice cold. Like you'll almost hurt your hands. Like, of course, it's coming from pretty deep.
Which I always think it's hilarious because like Justin Rhodes and them were doing like the dunks. Like in the morning, they go to their creek. And I'm like, I could do that in my own house because the well water is so freaking cold.
Old Redding said slightly allergic to snow. Hopefully, with time, you'll become less allergic, no more allergic. Yeah. Yeah, the one I'm like, I have to watch out for is yellow jackets. So I actually always wonder about those because that's the one I had.
We usually don't have problems with yellow jackets until the fall when they're trying to like get ready for winter too. And I do feed the bees in the fall time. So there are a lot more yellow jackets. So like if he's going to be down there, like I'll actually check the sugar water feeders to see if there's yellow jackets. Because I'm like, if there's any yellow jacket down here, not to mention like bugs love him. Yeah, because I got stung
as a kid and had to be rushed to the hospital. And I got allergy shots like to build up immunity, a couple 100 shots. But I don't know how long that is effective for it.
We don't have an EpiPen, do we?
Well, like when they did the test, I was allergic to like every sting.
Sting. It's slightly, nuts. Yeah. But like yellow jacket was the one that could do them in, so we have to watch for those.
Yeah,
we don't really mess around with them.
Usual. Our Wallace said, question: does anyone have silky chickens and have problems with them picking in other chickens and sometimes killing them?
The
You have
silkies
some
are
silk-
picking on your other chickens because usually, like for my
They're
experience,
usually
it's
the
the other
smaller,
way
aren't they?
around. Yeah, yeah. Usually it's I have trouble with. I don't know if it's because like we
Unless
get
he's
wet.
got albanums, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. My silkies were when I had them. I don't like silkies
Now
particularly.
we did clear out some of our roosters because Ashley was
Yeah.
noticing that we had. I mean, our rooster situation was a little crazy.
We had like 6 or 7 mature
Yeah.
roosters. Like it was an
They were
orgy in our
beating
yard.
up our hens, and then they
It
were
was-
fighting constantly.
It was constantly
There was
fighting
like 2 roosters that were beat up pretty good.
all
So.
the time. Yeah, it was an orgy and a
What do
mosh
you
pit
put
all
on them
the
if
time
they
out
do
there.
have like a sore? You have that blue.
I put blue coat on them, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to clean that. I mean, because that can be a little caustic sometimes.
But it helps if keep them from continued pecking.
Yeah.
So it covers up there.
Yes, I had blue
blood
chickens.
spot.
People be like, "Why is that chicken blue?" I'm like,
Yeah.
long story. Don't even ask.
Emma said, "I'd love a tankless water here, but don't have gas." Yeah, the gas ones work way better,
Yeah,
but
they do work way better.
I know they're getting better with the electric ones. So.
Yeah, pretty much
Turn
like
on
that.
tap ice.
Like it really would be like that for a
Yeah.
well.
Whoop!
What are
Jumped
you
on me.
doing?
Nightbot kicked in with like, that's a long one you got on there. Jumped like 3
Well,
months.
what? See, now I'm getting it from all sides. Guys.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
Chris is clever.
Yeah. He got me
on
noticing it. Patty said a gang of roosters. It really
Pretty much,
was.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah,
And
we've got some hens that were
they're
pretty much plucked.
bald.
Yeah.
They're pretty bald. Their saddles are gone. Their head feathers are gone. Some of them were.
And there were all
4-H
kinds of
chickens.
different breed chicken
Yeah.
roosters, so they're all running around like crazy. So
Mhm.
yeah, we've got one right now that doesn't have any tail feathers. So he looks funny because he's like looks like he's
He
like
looks
standing up
rumpless.
straight.
He's
Yeah.
a salmon fabric, but he looks like the Americanas do, like the rumpless ones do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. He's supposed to have tail feathers. I'm pretty sure he's just been pecked a lot.
Darren said, got the allergy test when I was young, and hay, dust bugs, etc. bugs me, and dust, etc. bugs me. So it made sense to spend half my life on farms.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, hay season. I have to like.
Yeah, it didn't used to bother her, but like as she got older, it seemed like
Yeah, when I
allergy
was younger,
developed
it
worse.
wasn't bad. But when I got in high school, it would always be like around softball season.
Same
But I
with the
would have
allergies.
allergies. But I know what causes it. I'm almost positive, like there's a specific type of grass here that around this time, like it just gets up. You can walk through it and hit it, and you can just see the pollen fly off of it. And our honey locust and our black locust are in bloom right now. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
And
that's
I mean,
what
it-
gets me.
I mean, I don't have allergies, but if I butt hog and stuff during it, it's enough to make
Yeah.
your throat.
Yeah, like
dry
I
up
love
and
to
get
mow the
scratchy.
lawn,
It's
but
that
if I
bad.
mow the lawn right now, like I'm asking for,
I
even
mean,
if I take medicine.
We've
I'm
had
coming
like
down.
a good mix of rain and sun, so our field, I've already had to bush hog it twice, even with the
Yeah.
donkeys and the goats in there, and actually put a muzzle on. What was it, Ren?
Yeah, I had to
because-
finally break down and get a grazing muzzle
Yeah.
because I noticed she
She's-
was getting a fat pat on her butt,
Yeah,
and her
quick.
neck was getting just like.
I mean, they couldn't keep up with it. That
no,
grass
and
is-
they can't keep up with it. I'd probably have to put like 100 goats plus a couple more donkeys in there
Yeah.
to keep it down. So I did. Now I don't see this problem with Lola, though. I've noticed Lola is looking very belly heavy, but but she doesn't have a fat. She's not breaking her crest in her neck like you will see in most donkeys when they become obese, and she doesn't have the fat pads on her butt. But like I was touching Ren's butt, and I was like, "Ooh, we have some fat pads that are just starting." So I went ahead and got a grazing muzzle, and she hates me right now because I put it on at night because I noticed she does a lot of grazing that she shouldn't be doing at night, and I take it off in the mornings. But
Emma said, "Be sure to hit that thumbs up."
yes, thank you,
definitely.
Emma. How
Justice
sweet
said,
of you.
"I guess he can't shake his tail feathers." No, you don't have
No,
any.
he doesn't have any. And we sold a tom too.
Oh yeah.
So I sold a tom. We had 2 toms and 1 hen, and they were just really laying into one another. Like the one, I was sure the one time that he got his snoot ripped off.
Yeah.
And it just was like, it was just pulled all the way in.
Then the funny thing was, like, a feather got stuck to it when it scabbed over. So he had like this feather
Like this
hanging
little
off.
tassel,
His,
it looks,
yeah.
it's kind of gross looking.
And it's funny, like if he'd walk or it was windy, it'd like blow over his head.
Yeah,
so it looked like he
we
had
got
a comb over.
fancy rooster
Sort of
out
looked like
there.
he had Trump hair a little bit.
Tom,
Yeah. It was funny
Trump
looking.
Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he did go to a new home where he has 1 lady friend and
Yeah.
no other turkeys, so he'll
Yeah.
be very happy. I kept the dominant one because I'm afraid sometimes when you keep less dominant birds that are like at the bottom of the pecking order, especially
Yeah.
males, when you sell the dominant one, they almost become super aggressive toward like everybody because it's like the power goes to their heads. So I always keep the dominant roosters if
Crazy
I
life
can.
in here tonight.
I know, I saw that. I'm so happy to see her. How's
Waving,
everything
yeah.
going for you, Tasha? How's everything going for you, crazy life? I like the waving.
Yeah. Brigitte has a small pet rooster that acts like a parrot. Will sit on her shoulder. Oh,
really?
that's cool.
That's cute. What does it have a name?
Yeah.
I'm always afraid to name mine. It's like the predators
Yeah,
up here will
as soon as
know
we
it's
name 'em.
named and go for it.
Oh, hello, Hannah. Good to have you in
Do
tonight.
you guys have cottonwood down there? We have those
There's-
blooming right now all around. It looks like no, we don't here. Down south, like south of us, we do. Like along the rivers, we've got it, but we don't have it here.
Yeah, the stuff we got here is like she said, the locusts, which blow off like a lot of their flower petals. They have these like little white flowers.
A lot of ours is just because we have
And-
a lot of wild type grasses that mix in our.
And we got the little helicopter things that fly around and clog gutters. They're like perfect for that. So, yeah, that's our two nuisance.
Hello, Hannah. How are you?
Emma said, I'm not allergic to hay or dust, but allergic to corn mold, soybean, and most trees. I'm surrounded every year by cornfields or soybean fields. Yeah.
Yeah. And we know how you feel.
Oh, man, soybean.
I'll get through it in
that's
about
a
a
lot
couple
of stuff
weeks.
now, too.
I'll get through it here in about a week or so. It'll be gone, but for right now, I just feel like death.
Yeah, and it's like nasty. Like it hits so hard because everything just blooms at once.
And we've had it so hot, and then it rains a lot. And like I noticed today, I was like, oh, it's raining. I'll go out in the barn for a little bit because it'll knock all this out of the air. And like I was out there for 10 minutes. I'm like, I can't. Like, and I had taken a Claritin and everything. Like I can't do it. It's just I can't breathe. My throat's scratchy. So I was inside
She
putting
says,
bee frames together.
I call him Eagle because he looks like an eagle.
Oh, that's cute.
Cool.
I love that.
Tasha said, I'm just super busy and never have any downtime. Amen to that.
I know. Well, she's got that even more so because your hubs works out of town, right?
Oh, that's right.
She's still doing that? Oh, Tasha, that's tough.
I can imagine one person
Especially
running
around
the
like
farm,
growing season, trying to get your garden in. Ugh. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, Tasha. I know it's not fun.
Crazy Life said, allergic to anything on the farm makes it simple.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Yeah, what she originally started with was Allegra or something like that, or
I started with like Allegra and that didn't work, and then I went to Zyrtec and Zyrtec worked
for a bit.
For a few years, and I noticed last year it wasn't touching it, so I've been doing Claritin, but I might circle back around to Zyrtec and see if maybe as I've had a break, it will work for me. But we'll have to see because I mean I can feel it in my throat right now. It feels claspy. If that's a word, it's claspy.
Yeah. And it like hits her in spells through the day, so she'll be fine for a little bit, and then all of a sudden just be like,
I'll be fine for like a couple hours, and I don't know if it's. I don't know.
I mean, you know, it's bad around here when on the news, like for the weather, they have like an allergy index, and they're like, oh, ragweed's bad today, or pollen, or all that. So.
Yeah, I can't get over this rainbow.
I don't know. I had some friends move out to the Pacific Northwest. I think it was like the Washington-Idaho line, and they said that the air quality, or at least the allergies, aren't as bad out there. I don't know, Adrian or Patty, if you can confirm that, but they said allergies? I know the Midwest here is just terrible. There's like people that move here and they're like, I didn't have allergies before until I moved here. So
we've heard that a lot about the Ohio Valley.
It was Lincoln.
Was there Lincoln?
Yeah, around the rainbow. That was weird.
Oh. It is like a super strong rainbow.
Yeah, hanging out. I must say I was very relieved not to be allergic to chickens or ducks or their eggs out.
Yes. 100%.
Speaking of ducks, we have a couple getting ready to hatch more ducks.
Yeah. I sold some ducks. I sold turkey poults. Do you guys even know we had turkey poults? I am so far behind in like putting videos together. We had turkey poults like 2 weeks ago, right? And I sold some.
Yep.
I sold some ducklings. We have more ducklings coming. I'm sorry, guys. I can't keep track of like what I've shared with you and what I haven't at this point.
Tasha said, yes, he is, and I'm actually over it, and I might have to talk about this because it's really tough. He was home more when he was in the Navy.
Oh, Tasha, I'm sorry to hear that. I am so sorry to hear that.
I know I had a job for a little bit that I was traveling quite a bit, and that was tough.
It was tough. It was not easy, so I can sympathize with you.
Crazy Life said, Sudafed that you have to sign for and nasal spray.
I probably should do the nasal spray because that's I probably should. But then
my dad always used Sudafed. That worked good for him.
Well, I'm a wanker over it too. Like I get upset. I don't like taking medicine. I don't know. I know it'll make me feel better, but then I'm like, I
remember right. Sudafed, I think, had the commercial where it was like the medicine head. It was like a big head walking around. because it supposedly didn't give you medicine head. You know how like the old allergy
like they
stuff
make them
will
like
make you
foggy and
groggy, yeah.
drowsy and yeah.
I think that was there. It's like, don't have medicine head.
Thank you, Brigitte. I appreciate that. Never had allergies in my life, but this year is horrible because we're having issues now with allergies. That's so, it sucks.
Oh, yeah.
That sucks.
Crazy Life said, hot toddy, honey, hot water, and a shot of Maker's Mark. Sounds like that'll take care of a lot of stuff.
Or what was that, fire water? Or what did posture was?
I don't know. That had a ton of stuff.
It had a lot of stuff, and it looked horrible.
Yeah, for Ashley. It had like honestly, onions and everything in it.
It had like a lot of things I just do not like straight.
Well, thanks, Brigitte. Yep, hit the thumbs up.
You bought 4 Muscovy ducklings? What color are they? Tell me. I need to know because I'm like entranced with the colors that Muscovy ducks come in.
Ours are pretty much what, black and white?
Black, white. We got blacks, or like some will call them French whites. I don't know why they call them French white Muscovies. And then we have chocolate, blacks, and we have a lilac or a lavender. I'm not sure, but then they come like in Louis and Bard, and they come in all kinds of different patterns. So I want fancy blue ones, but they cost a lot of money, and I don't need to spend more money on more animals.
Virginia love it when mine act up. I become a faucet, and then I was kissing so hard.
They're so gross.
That is funny.
Let me share my snot with you.
Yeah.
Hey, at least it's not the contagious snot, though.
Yeah.
You know, that's always good.
Yeah. Yeah, allergy season's no fun, though. So
yours are chocolate and caramel color.
And other two are yellow with brown stripes. Ooh, that's quite a mix.
Yeah.
That's
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
What's that little one we got that's like brown looking? Is that going to be lavender or is it just?
I don't know. We've got one where she's got you can sex Muscovy ducklings pretty quickly without vent sexing just because of like specific characteristics, so like the shape of their face, how big their feet are, who's growing faster, and then ultimately when they get older, who's making what noises, because only males huff and hiss. So if you've got a huffing and a hissing Muscovy duck, it's definitely a drake.
Yeah.
But we've got one where she's kind of got like this, she's a little bit gray, but she's got like a blue-black bill. And I was looking at everybody in our pen, and I'm like, nobody has a black bill. So I'm really excited to see what, and I'm pretty sure it's a hen or a duck. I guess they're ducks. They're not hens, right?
Yeah.
Ducks and drakes. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Could talk to you guys about ducks all day long too.
Yeah, we need to work on that pen soon.
Yes, we need to work on our duck pen, and we need to build a new duck house, but we're moving our raised garden beds from there up closer to the house, but we're in the middle of growing season. So, and which kind of works out, because then maybe like when we're ready to do all these projects, lumber will actually be down in the fall time. Yeah. Because a lot of construction and projects in this area will stop, at least like for the outdoor stuff. So I'm hoping maybe we'll catch a price break there.
Futures were down on lumber, so that expects to drive the cost down.
We're going to eat them. We're going to eat the drakes. Or if someone needs a drake, you can always offer them up for sale. I mean, Muscovies here, no, I got mine for 10 a piece. That's a steal in my area. Like 100% a steal. Ducklings here go anywhere from $5 to $10 depending on color. And then adults go from anywhere from $20 to $30 a piece. So I can either make a couple bags of chicken feed off of the sale, or I can eat them. I would rather eat them because Muscovy duck is supposed to taste like it's like the beef flavor for duck, from what I've heard. So we're gonna eat them.
Yeah. Tasha said, "Oh, I also hatched 2 goslings and have always said I'd never get geese, but I'm in love with these 2 goslings."
What kind are they? Tell me they're Sebastibles. Tell me they're Sebastibles, please. Please tell me that's what they are. I want them so bad, but they're so expensive. They're so expensive.
Tasha also said, "Well, I paid $2." Definitely.
Here it is like they're tough to come by. So you can, because like what I sold them $5 a pop to the neighbor, but like I think I've got them advertised as like 6 or 7 a piece.
She's bought a couple of things from us.
She took the turkey poults and like was walking away. She's like, "You got ducklings? You willing to part with them?" I'm like, "I do." But it sounds like Joe got her first job with this lady to watch her poults and ducklings. I haven't heard from her. She's supposed to be bringing her brooders up tomorrow or Friday. So Joe will be taking care of those for a little bit of money.
Maybe some of that she'll just pop up and be like, "Hey, I'm bringing them up."
Yeah.
Crazy Life said, "Have you ever Have you had a garden tour
No,
yet? Not yet?
I have a video started on putting in the garden.
Yep.
But I started seeds late. Now my corn's popped, zinnias are popped, sunflowers have popped. I did amaranth because I saw how gorgeous it was at Old Reading Farm, and I'm like, I have to plant it. I did coxcomb, celosia, the Chinese woolflower that like Baker Creek Heirloom was real big on. I planted 4 varieties of melons, like a Carolina Cross and honeydews and what was the one? They're like Crimson Sweets. I planted quite a few. Though my dog decided that there was a mole living in the watermelon mounds, so I have to go out there and repair those. But no, I haven't really done that. Like, I am sorry, like 100%. Like, what was the last one we did? The swarm, trying to get them to stay. Guys, that was a month ago, and I just released that last Friday. So like, kidding season is done.
Mm-hmm.
You guys still have kidding videos coming. We've moved drakes because drakes were killing our ducklings. I'm sorry, I'm doing that again to your face.
I know you get more excited as you talk.
And
just go knock me on my
that
camera.
was about 3 weeks ago. We put the garden in almost 3 weeks ago, and you guys haven't seen any of those. But I'm just so strapped for time,
Mm-hmm.
and I've almost gotten to the point where I'm like, what needs to go into a video, and what do I want to show you, or what am I just like, I'll hold this back. So, okay, good. Okay, this is good. Do you guys want to see gardening videos? Do you want to see full live birth videos for goats? Do you want to see duck videos? Because I've got just about all of them.
All of it.
I've got like
all
what 2 hours of bee footage I still have to edit and put together, and I will film again this coming weekend because 2 hives are honey bound, and I'll be harvesting honey for the first time without an extractor.
Hold on.
But I think
Emma's
we've got
a
this.
question here. When will you be able to get mulberry cuttings? I want to plant some on our property.
I can probably get them really, really soon.
Yeah.
I can probably go
They're
ahead
starting to berry up right now.
They are
actually.
berrying up. I was kind of
I'm
waiting for them
cleaning
to
up.
drop berries so that we didn't go. I didn't stress out the branch too much. I kind of want to let it be done and
I
then
actually
do that.
cut quite a few bigger ones down this past
Yeah,
weekend
I cut a lot
because they were like
of them.
choking each other out. So
Yeah, we had to take the more established trees and kind
we
of
cleaned up the front of our driveway.
yeah.
So it looks nicer.
We've been doing so much, guys. In the loft,
More
like
cosmetic.
the fascia boards on the loft are almost done. We're
Mhm.
ready to almost start to do what are those
I
called?
think those came in the mail today. Those
Did
plates.
the plates come today?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've just got a lot. He's bush hogged. I'm done kidding. I'm getting ready to draw blood on 4 more goats to do pregnancy tests and biosecurity panels.
Farms here, yeah.
Hello, Angel. Hi, Chad. I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, buddy? Sorry. That's okay. That's okay, Arwals. No biggie.
Yep.
You do you. We're just here to
Tasha said,
entertain.
I honestly don't know yet what they are. My friend has tons, and they could be Sebastopol.
Something mixed.
But something mixed. But I want Sebastipols too. My 17-year-old said that they look like toilet paper.
They do look like toilet paper.
That's funny.
They do. But then I was looking, and there's like different types. Like there's curly Sebastipols where like their feathers are uber curled, but they're expensive here.
Mm-hmm.
Waterfowl in this area specifically are pretty expensive.
Tasha said, yeah, I haven't recorded a video in a month. She's been recording, just editing.
It's just sitting there, but now I'm like starting to come to limbo where I'm
now
like,
our video or spaces.
my space is getting really, really slim. Like actually, Rapunzel's birth 2 kids, and anybody who follows me on Facebook, you guys know what's going on in our life because it's easy for me to drop a quick video, or it's easy for me to drop a quick couple photos of showing what's going on, but my SD card filled while in the middle of that and missed like a pretty, I thought was interesting part of her birth. And after that, it was like we had a softball game, so I stopped filming and I never came back and did like the closing for that. So I actually have to film the closing now.
That's like last night. We spent all night running a concession stand for.
Yeah, it was our daughter's team's turn
just like
to do
crazy
the concession
things
stand. We
popping
were
up.
there for like 3 hours.
I mean, we got to talk to a bunch of people. It's nice, but
it's good, but it's just
things keep popping up.
Things are crazy. And then
Chris is Clevercraft. So don't feel alone. He said you're doing better than me on getting the videos out. I assure you.
It's tough, but I mean,
she just feels like she's pulled in a lot.
I feel like I'm pulled in a lot of different ways, and I enjoy editing. Like, and I hope that comes through on my videos. I like to edit and I like to make them
Tasha,
interesting and smooth.
you mentioned this the other day too. Haven't watched others' videos and so lost in what people are up to.
Me too.
Yeah.
My watch list, like queued to watch, is like I think I'm like 200 videos deep. 200 videos deep, and it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
I try to like at least read some of their descriptions though to kind of keep up with what they're doing.
Spring says the life of a YouTube farmer is a balancing act, no joke. Planning, filming, editing, and the farm work.
Yes. How is your garden coming along? And I know you're working on a chicken coop. I want to know all of it. And if you put out videos, they're probably on my watch list. So if you put this out and I'm asking a question on things that have already been shown, I'm really sorry.
Emma said you guys are crazy busy, making me tired just listening to everything you're doing.
Well, you can come visit us. I will feed you with my subpar cooking abilities compared to yours, and you can come stay with us for a week, and you can just have fun with us.
That'd be a good break from everything.
It would. We're looking forward to HOA in October. Like,
yeah, we've been talking. I think that comes up once a week.
It does. We've got like these specific breaks where we're like, if I can get here, I'm good, and I'm looking forward to this. So.
Orwell said, "Hey y'all, don't forget about Gulf Coast Homesteaders Meetup in October." Yeah, I actually saw that on the Facebook Homesteaders of America post the other day.
Yeah, because you guys got Cog Hill coming, don't you? I saw that, and I was like, oh my God, Carl. She's so hilarious.
Oh, Darren said, I bought this so right about the Mulberry swag. Get some. The hoodie rocks.
I just put out a new one too because I've been
playing around.
I've been playing around in Canva with our honey labels that will go on the honey that we'll be harvesting. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna just kind of recycle this and put it. So I do have like bee swag, honey bee swag now, where it says Mulberry Branch Farm, the bee's knees. I was super proud of that.
Well, I said I've been super busy and so many projects and filming and such. Got my garden creation video coming soon. It'll be a whole series.
It feels like that too.
That's awesome.
Because you were doing like a whole bunch of different raised beds and like fencing and everything, weren't you? You were like doing a whole bunch. Bruce is in the house. Hi, Bruce. How you doing?
Yeah, because I actually like talked about all the raised beds and stuff he had. I was like getting ideas off of like your plans, like.
Well, like I actually have 2 beds that I haven't planted, and I'm like, do I just bite the bullet this growing season and leave them empty and start moving things up here to start figuring out what we want to do with it? Because I really want to make it a very beautiful space.
Mm-hmm.
Not that like some of our spaces here aren't beautiful, but like there's just something about this where I'm like, I really want this to be.
Well, it's going to be
beautiful.
like up against our house, so
Yeah.
it's going to almost be like landscaping in a way. So, Crazy Life said, I'm late on my garden. We were not sure if we would be here to harvest anything. Tomatoes, peppers, marigolds, bush beans, pole beans, 1 cabbage need to be in the ground. Raining here for a few days. So you're getting, the same. Well, we just got rain today. The last couple of days have been
tomorrow, though.
But it did get chilly over the past weekend, like as far as like chilly being Memorial Day. Now Darren would probably laugh at us saying it's chilly, but for us, like Memorial Day is usually like swimming.
Yeah.
That's swimming season.
Like 90 degrees easy that day.
But it was like 50s, 60s.
It was a high in the low 60s.
Yeah.
The kids still swam though.
Yeah.
They still swam. They just put on their thermal surfing.
And my aunt had a pool heater, so.
It was warmer in the pool than it was outside of it.
In your nose. That was gross. All right.
It's all right. I won't stick my finger
Our Wallace
in your nose.
said, thankfully no allergies here for me yet. My kids are struggling.
But you know how that goes. If the kids are struggling, you are struggling.
Yeah.
There's just no end in sight when your kids are sick or something's bothering them. Joe's a pretty tough cookie, but when she is down and out, it is like...
Yeah, she's pretty rough shape. Darren said, much easier following others in the winter than spring.
It is. It is. I don't even get to go to the lives that I want to go, and it makes me feel guilty because I'm like, oh, I want to have a live and have like all these people in it, but then I'm like, oh crap, I missed this person's live, or I only got to stop in for a few minutes. June, jeez.
I know. Crazy Life Homestead, same here. I'm still stuck on the honey harvest video.
I'm waiting for it, so at least you have one person that really wants to see it because.
Oh, Wallace was asking how was Sunny's baby.
Great.
So we did have a scare the other night, though.
Oh my God.
It was like out of the blue.
Animals try to kill themselves for no reason. So you guys haven't seen Rapunzel's yet. So Rapunzel was the end of that group.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to Blackberry, Sky, and Tootsie. And last night, Mark was it last night or Sunday?
Rainbow's still out
It was Monday. Monday he was sitting out. We had just gotten done. I was actually moving like the new swarm catch into a hive, and came in to sit down for a second and looked out. And Mark was like running off the deck, and Joe was motioning to me, and she's like, "Daddy just heard baby goats screaming," and he went
It's just like
to the
odd.
barn.
It was like the
But
stress of
and
us.
we were talking about that. It's funny, like when you're around animals and you know how they should sound. Like when there's a noise that's a little off, like it just is like a red flag to go check. So he went and checked, and sure enough, like we had a baby goat that had jumped into a bucket head first.
Yeah.
Was barely keeping her head above the water, just her front half. So her back half was up over the edge of the bucket. So we brought her in and wrapped her up in a towel and got her nice and dry.
Because it was pretty cold.
But the thing is, it's like if he hadn't been there, I wouldn't have gone out to check until like I was closing the barn like in an hour and a half, which that would have meant certain doom for her. And we actually had one jump into the bucket last year, like much older, much more able to get out, and just drowned.
Yeah.
So it's just like, could you guys just try to stay alive?
Yeah.
Could you try not?
It's already hard enough. But
Like, I love you. Please don't commit
Emma
suicide.
added the link in here for golf.
Oh, thank you, Emma. How nice
Guys,
of you.
be sure to check that out. I was going to circle with my mouse, but you can't see my mouse.
Yes.
So
Thank you. Oh, she's getting all the picnic, all the meetup stuff. Yay, Emma, thank you.
Homestead's picnic.
But Arwal's Sonny's baby is doing great. His name is Sweet Samson. And Sweet Samson kind of likes me, but he kind of doesn't. Like, he wants to come up and chew on my pants, but doesn't want me to touch him when he does it. So.
Oh, Neil's in here tonight.
Hello,
He's
Neil.
new.
How are you?
Just came across your channel. What is it about?
So we are homesteading, but like our main digs are like the goats, and we raise chickens. We do gardening, beekeeping. We do all kinds of stuff. Oh, thanks, Tasha. See, she's got it.
Hidden Spring says, I have a ton going on. Installed 4-yard hydrants. Wow.
Wow.
Planted blueberries. I'm building my garden from scratch. I started my chicken house, but switched to the garden once I got warm. You sound like us where you just hit the ground running. Because we're always
exhausting.
Like 20 projects and just jump one to one.
It's exhausting.
I will say, try to finish one before you jump to the other, because then you never end up going back.
We still have projects that are like 90%.
It's like just like little finishing touches to it. It's functional, but it's like it'd be nice.
Well, it's funny because like we just redid the buck pen, and we did it with like the nice boarded fence. We've gotten so many compliments in our videos about that, and I started mowing like a month ago.
Right now, that fence is probably the most expensive thing on our property. Our property values probably have gone up like 100%.
That's an heirloom fence.
Yes.
That's Josie's
inheritance. I always joke actually about that. Like with lumber prices, like the fences probably increased our property value.
You're ridiculous.
For to sell the house, it's like twice the value.
But I started mowing, and like I came across this set of boards. I'm like, what are these boards for? And we still have like 3 sections of the fence. So we have 15 boards that were out in the weeds that I almost hit mowing. I was like, we've got to finish that fence because we had plans for the panels that were up, and we still haven't gotten to it. Just in case you were wondering. But
Darren said we've been swimming too. Pool is about 65 degrees, so
the hot tub follows.
Man, that
sounds so nice, Darren. You're making us so jealous.
Well, 65 degrees, that's a pretty chilly pool.
It is.
Because I think the kids were swimming 68 degrees.
No, theirs was 73.
Oh, they get 73?
It was at 73.
Oh, man. They got luxury there. And there's another link for Homesteaders of America conference. That's what we're planning.
We're going to go there. Yep.
So hopefully we see all of our friends there.
Yeah. Yeah, and as we get closer, like I'd love for you guys to like shoot a message or something to let us know who's going to be there, because like I definitely want to meet up with as many people and hang and do whatever.
We don't get out too often, so we'd like to.
But I feel really close to our YouTube community, and just the community is super supportive, and you guys are so much fun. So I'd love to have it in person.
Said I'm trying to get my ducks party pool open for summer, but drainage logistics issues. I've been hatching a lot too. Sold a lot of chicks and ducklings. Been selling a lot of eggs.
Well, that's good because you're going to need that money for lumber.
Yep. Tasha said, "Oh, good Lord! I swear, goats are so stressful."
They are stressful. They are stressful.
Man, Hidden Spring's been really busy. He said, "And I've been training my kittens to live in the barn and get promoted to full-time employees on the farm."
They got to earn their living, though.
Yeah.
You got to earn their living.
Yeah, ours are mousers, and Ashley gets upset because once in a while they'll kill, like a pretty bird or whatever.
Bunny or something.
But it's just a matter of what it is.
Or they brought like a rabbit head up on the porch the other day, where I was like, guys, really?
Hello,
was
bro.
upsetting.
What's that?
Bro Web.
Yeah.
How are
Good
you?
to have you here tonight. Tasha said, I sold my first goats today, 2 little bucks. Oh, congrats.
Oh, how do you feel about that? I always felt like
Tasha always gets a little heartbroken.
I do. I get a little bit upset about it, but it is what it is, you know.
Darren said, it's crazy how sounds or seeing something different alerts you, eh? Our cow fence somehow broke the other day, right? When we were going to leave the property, we have ribbons on our wire, so that helps.
Oh, that's good.
Saw that video.
Yeah.
You were talking about
Dad.
that. Huh?
Mark was telling me, he's like, did you see Darren's thing on Facebook? I had to go and look.
So did you ever figure out what actually broke it? Because I knew you were saying like it was possibly a moose, or maybe there was more suspicious reasons behind it. So
I always get interested, especially when people like have chickens that go missing. They're like, there's no like entry in and out. There's no nothing.
Our interesting is the farmer mowed down Ashley's flower patch up front. So
I still don't want to talk about that. Still upsets me a little bit.
It's part of
I just planted new things there that didn't come back this year. I was looking for them, and I'm like, okay, I guess you killed those starts.
Emma said I live vicariously through Ashley because of the goats because I can't have them yet.
I have plenty for you to snuggle.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ashley could definitely share some.
I think in October I'll have babies by then if like the blood tests come back positive.
Oh, Neil, just like this video.
Oh,
thank you, Neil.
That's very sweet of you.
In spring, what does mulberry fruit look like? I have a few big trees, and they have small, spiky little fruit things. And
are they green?
An app on my phone says it's white mulberry.
Yeah, they start out green and spiky, and then they'll either turn white. But ours here are like an invasive species, and we do not have white mulberries.
No.
They're a deep, dark purple, and they stain your fingers like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're kind of like almost like football shaped.
Yeah.
But with like lots of little berries, like a longer, thicker blackberry.
Yeah, but not as big and puffy as a blackberry.
Yeah, they don't seem like they get as ripe as the blackberries do, but I mean they will sting your fingers.
That sounds like a mulberry though.
Yeah, the white mulberries are supposed to be really good too. I've heard.
They taste different.
I've heard that they taste good, like better, but
yeah, I'll be honest. Like ours really don't have much flavor. So when Ashley makes jam, she has to add sugar to sweeten them up because they're pretty plain. So. Tasha said it's been in the 80s, 90s here. I just like the heat and humidity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same weather we have been having. So
I don't mind the heat, but humidity just kind of.
Mm-hmm.
You know how that goes.
Darren said never figured it out, so I put a couple more cameras up. Good luck with those.
I hope it. It'll make for an interesting video though.
Mm-hmm.
So Neil, you're in India. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. I've been over there twice. Mm-hmm. Both times went to Jaipur. It was a pretty cool city. So it was beautiful because it had a ton of history and a ton of forts I got to visit, which was just awesome. I love when there's a city has a lot of history and a lot of ancient, structures and stuff like that to check.
Yeah.
So Tasha said, I just worry they won't be taken care of or eaten. Mm-hmm. But I try to tell myself once they leave my house, I have no control, but I can choose who they go to. I don't plan on keeping any boys.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, it's good when they leave your house and you don't ever get calls about them ever again. Yeah. We've had some instances where it's like, did you do any research or did you know how to take care of this animal? Just from like some interactions that we've had. And it's amazing sometimes the spontaneous buys that happen with livestock, especially like the cute small animals I've noticed. Where I'm like, well, they're like, oh, but like I grew up and they showed cartoons of them like eating tin cans so I can feed them. No.
Yeah.
They're cartoons, they're exaggerations for a reason. Like they can't eat a tin can. Yeah. It's been pretty crazy.
So what country are you guys from? I'm from India.
Mm-hmm. We're in North America. So the United States, and we're in Indiana.
Yep, that's a state.
Yep, so. It's the Midwest area of the United States.
Mm-hmm. What's that? No doubt that you. Canada here. Oh, everybody's talking about
where they're at. That's nice.
Yeah. Hattie said 90 degrees.
Yeah, if Bomber Steve was still in here,
he's from Australia.
He's from Australia, so
we've got a mix of people. Here. We've had a couple from, was it England?
Yes.
Pork and Allotment?
Pork and Allotment was from over there. And we had Spanish Homestead who was in Spain who would visit us for a while. So there's been all types. We had that one from Russia.
Yep, we did.
Yeah, she comes in every now and then still.
Yep. So I'm looking for trees to plant. I can use as fodder for the chickens. Thinking of poplar, willow, mulberry. Yeah.
Willow would be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Willow would be, and our willow, we only planted one willow here, and I planted it way too close to like where some our vines were, and we worried about it. So I pulled it and put it out in the field, and the goats ate it. But it's supposed to have really good medicinal purposes, and I know a lot of people do use them for fodder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mulberry, I wouldn't put near anything. You don't want to get covered in mulberries because it stains everything. So when we mow, of course I don't have no hair on my head, so I'll like hit them with my bald head, and I'll end up with like splotches of berries on my head, or they'll fall behind you on the tractor, so you get up and you just have mulberry spots all over your butt. Yeah, so that's where it sucks.
That happens all the time. Or when we're doing jam, like our fingers are purple.
And the birds will eat them, and of course
purple poop.
Yep. So our deck has
Sometimes
that on it.
That's how we know that the berries are ready in the areas. There'll be purple poop places.
Yep. So it's a good dye for sure.
Yeah.
That's good to hear about Sunny's baby.
Yeah. He's doing really, really good. She's trying to wean him right now. But isn't that crazy though? You're asking about Sunny's baby. He was in the first group. Those guys are almost ready to be weaned and to go to new homes.
Have we gotten everybody disbudded yet?
I have one last group to get disbudded.
We had a little bit of tricky time doing that too, because actually our regular vet
it's been booked solid.
Yeah, like he's actually getting some backup help because it's been so crazy.
Well, like the one I called and it was like 2 weeks ahead of time. They're like, we can do it in a month. And I'm like, I asked for disbudding. Like they'll be too big by then. You know, it'll be really painful. And I actually had to go to a different vet, which I like the way that he disbudded better, but the convenience of my vet being 5 minutes down the road. So that's something too that we've been talking about, maybe learning to do ourselves. Yeah. Not everybody agrees with it, and that's totally fine. You do you, boo. I'm going to do me. And for our purposes here, the goats need to be disbudded.
And we've got quite a few now that come out each year, so it's a busy track, especially when we're now trying to like cascade when they're born, like spread it out. So now it's like multiple trips, and if our vet's backed up,
then we're screwed.
It's a pain because she had to drive almost an hour to get.
Now, but this guy, like, he raises dairy goats and he shows, and he has like national champions in his barn, so like he knew what he was doing. Yeah. Which I like that, but I'm like, if only you weren't an hour away, I would actually possibly think of just switching to you completely for disbudding.
My sister uses them, though.
Yeah, your sister does use them.
Hidden Spring says these spiky little things are green right now. Yep. How big do they get? I didn't see any fruit on these trees last year though. Are they biennial? Can I eat them? No, they're definitely annual.
Every year. Yeah, they're perennials. They'll come out
last
every
year we didn't know because there was a late frost.
Sometimes you get a 2 to 3 inches of big berry. An inch and a half is normal.
Yeah, it's an inch.
Yeah.
They sort of elongate. Where a blackberry's more round.
Yeah,
they'll sort of get longer.
Yeah, that's why I think they're more like a football, because they're kind of skinny up top and they've got less berries at the bottom.
Logo?
No.
I know we had a logo with like an example one, but
yeah.
She ended up drawing our own. But yeah, they definitely vary each year. Last year,
them, you will find they are not as tart, or they're more tart. They're not as sweet.
Is.
Chad.
No, where? Oh, Canada. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because
last year we didn't get any because the frost did kill them off. So like they are susceptible to that. But we saw them all varying up this year, so I think we're in good shape.
Neil, we are not monetized, so we cannot have a super chat. We're working towards that. So if you stick around with us long enough, once we're monetized, there will be a super chat option, but we're just not there yet.
Yeah. We're glad you're here today.
Yeah, I appreciate you wanting to
Feel free to jump in and chat. If you have any questions about homesteading or farming.
Yeah, everything is eatable once, right? Yes, at least one time. Some might put you in the ground, but others.
Yeah, what was I talking about last week? I messed up. Patty was saying cattails. Yeah. I was like milkweed. She's like, no, it's not milkweed. I'm like, wait. Yeah, she's like that.
I was like, next you're gonna tell them to go out and find nightshade. Yeah. Like, oh, nightshade's great as a garnish.
What do you plant that flower that's like highly poisonous? He talks about.
So foxglove is very toxic. I saw oleander was being sold in a Walmart, and it had nothing about the toxicity of oleander, which I'm like, guys, oleander is very, very.
And I mean, I know toxic. Like we have our goats in a fence and everything, but. You know, our house is pretty close to the fence, and goats will go out and try all that stuff.
Well, I had one eat like a whole iris bush. Iris is supposed to be toxic to goats. I wanted to move a
She kept an eye
wisteria
on
bush
that
over there.
for a while.
Wisteria is toxic to goats. There's a lot of things that are toxic to your animals.
Now, salvia, that isn't right. That'll just make
no,
them
but
hallucinate.
salvia can give them a little bit of a drug high.
We don't need that with our goats.
Yeah,
they're already crazy enough. Yeah,
I don't need them hallucinating. I don't need them hallucinating.
Tasha said, "Oh yes, I've had someone try to give me chickens back because they stopped laying in the winter."
I know, it's like, well, it's driven off of daylight. I mean, put a light out there, increase the protein in their feed, give them good water. You know, there's ways around it.
Clovercrest said, "My neighbors bought chickens, turkeys, and ducks without having anything ready for them. I had to spend the afternoon making sure they were set up."
People do that. I don't know.
And because Ashley has a Facebook page for the farm, they find her on there. Yeah.
And sometimes it's not even people that have bought from me. And I don't mind mentoring. Like 100%. I will mentor anybody and throw out helpful hints or tell them like, hey, this is a vet situation. Like I can tell you how I would treat until I could get them to a vet, but this is a vet worthy situation. Yeah. But I had one, like she bought a rooster and she just threw it out there. And with a flock of 30, he was being bullied. So I'm like, you may want to let him acclimate. Just threw him out there and he ran off. I don't know if she ever found him, but she's like, how are you going to make this right?
Chris's Clovercraft said they only have the ducks and chickens left. I helped them make a run as well. Yeah. That was awesome for helping them out, get them started.
Yeah, it's good to be a good neighbor like that.
Yeah, too. In the homesteading community, I've noticed that. Like, we really try to help people that are getting into it. I mean,
yeah, for the most part, you do have like those, especially you're putting yourself out to be crucified. If you put like on Reddit or Facebook, Emma can tell you that.
He said that turkeys died despite my efforts.
Turkeys are tough.
Yeah.
Turkeys are tough, especially if you take them from poults. Like the ones that were started under Tabitha were great, but the two that were left pipping in the nest and the other one actually ended up having like a skull deformity. Those two never thrived and ended up passing away. So turkeys are tough. Roan turkeys are tough.
Wallace said we got Doe to join our herd from Hidden Oaks Homestead. Their name is Sun. That's awesome. Margie is asking, how is Miss Queen Dilly doing?
She is doing good.
Yeah.
She is.
It's funny because she's like, definitely the queen of the herd, but the babies just run around her. For the most part,
she's not mean to him either. Like she's
until it's feeding time, then she gets a little pushy with them.
She gets her own bowl because at first I wasn't letting her in, and I was like, well, this isn't fair. She's getting in her golden years. She probably could use extra nutrition. Yeah. So she gets her own separate bowl away from everybody else, but she will share with the babies. Like she likes younger goats, but it's like once they meet maturity, she wants nothing to. But she loves Rosie. Yeah. Which makes me love her even more because Rosie's one of my favorites. So I'm like, oh.
Darren said we got 40 chickens on Saturday, and some of them are still all alive. It's a record. That is a record.
That is a record. We only got 9. Yeah. Yeah, I only got, and it's for Josie's 4-H project. So.
I'm picking up 30 Cornish crosses later this month. Wow.
You guys are killing it over there.
We still have some chicken in our freezer from last year's fair.
We had like 10 or 12 butchered. But I don't know how I got them to 10 weeks. I didn't butcher them out until 10 weeks, so they were huge birds. And I didn't have any of them flip on me, which was great.
He said last year we lost 7 out of 40. That's still good.
That's still really good, though, especially for Cornish Rock, just because of like their heart and their legs and everything like that. That's
for us, leading up to the fair, we're like trying to keep them cool so that
they've got a fan on them. They get the frozen water bottles.
Like at the fairgrounds, they'll release them early if the weather gets too hot because they'll start croaking in the cages.
Our poultry show is Monday. It's Monday morning because they're them and the rabbits, like if it gets super hot, like they've got to get them home because they will just start keeling over. Yeah.
Tasha said, yes, I agree with you about horns versus no horns. I couldn't do it, but that's me. But man, some people get nasty about it.
They really do. And I'm just like, if you want to keep horns, that's totally fine. I've had goats with horns and I've had goats without horns. And I love them both equally. I can see it from both sides.
Hattie said oleander is very toxic.
Super toxic.
But some salvia is a drug.
Yeah, some salvia is a drug. Yeah, because I remember I worked at Home Depot back like in the day, and I was in the nursery section, and you could tell like these guys came in, they're like, you guys sell salvia? I'm like, yeah. They're like, really? Like legally you sell salvia? I'm like, yeah, but I'm not sure it's the type you think that it is. You may need to read the scientific name before you purchase. Yeah. I probably shouldn't have told them that, but I knew what they were getting at. And I'm like, I also didn't want them to get possibly a toxic type of salvia that could like kill them, because I'm like, if you don't know what the plant is, plants are kind of like snakes.
Yeah.
If you don't know what type they are 100%, you probably shouldn't eat from them or touch them.
Yeah.
Leave them alone.
Darren said that would be funny. Goats tripping out would be like having fainting goats.
Dude, for real.
Let's see. Neil said, even though I don't know anything about homesteading or gardening, but this definitely interests me, so you earned yourself a new list.
Oh, thank you, Neil. I appreciate
Glad you're here.
that.
And a lot of the other people in this chat are also homesteaders and have videos too, so feel free to check them out.
Yeah.
It's a well bonded community, and if you ever get into it, we're all here to help.
A lot of us rally
offer
around
answers to questions and everything. I mean, we've got a mix of people that some of us are specialized in plants. We have a lot of goats. Ashley worked for a vet for a little bit, so we know a little bit like veterinary care, basic veterinary care.
The animals in the garden,
so yeah, you can definitely learn a lot.
Hello, Pathways. How are you? How's everything going out your way?
Orwell said, Ashley, I need to learn from you about bees. I want to start a hive, but no clue about bees. Yeah, we started from scratch, and
I should have taken classes. I should have found a bee, but in all honesty, we started ours like right at the beginning of COVID. So like there were no classes; they were all online, and by that point, I was like, I'll just do it myself.
We know some people, and like talking to them, they're like, oh yeah, we just got some bees and stuck them in a hive, and they took off.
Yeah.
So, but they're much more complex than that. We've realized.
And you can take a lot of different stances. I know Bruce does his different than Adrian. Adrian does her different than mine. You can ask 10 beekeepers the same question, and you will get 11 answers. And you have to keep in mind, like, it's local. So what I do up here in Indiana at specific times of the year probably will not be applicable to you in Florida.
Yeah.
You guys have a longer growing season, so therefore I would assume you guys probably have a longer beekeeping season.
Yeah, but I definitely encourage it. It's such a rewarding
super fun
thing to do.
It is super, super fun. I'm interested every time I go.
And they're so amazing. Like, the more you learn about them, this blows my mind.
Yeah.
So.
That's right,
Patty said
like-minded, generous folks.
Yep.
Yes, they are.
Tasha said, I've heard turkeys are tough, but never had any issues hatching and raising them. I've even had a blind turkey, and she eats and lays eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will tell you, turkeys are best raised by other turkeys.
Mm-hmm.
I have problems when I pull them, or they've never had like any interaction with mom.
Yeah.
It's like there's just something about that hen raising her own poults that even for a couple of days when I pulled those from her, like they were just miles ahead of the others.
Mm-hmm. Emma said some people are just nasty if you don't follow their philosophy of raising animals crazy.
It really is.
Yeah.
People can be really stringent, and I just don't get that. There are plenty of successful ways because we all don't have the same situations. And we all don't have the same setups. We don't live in the same regions.
Yeah.
We aren't always akin to the same weather systems or anything like that in our
so many
environment.
variables involved.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Well, and I had someone that was trying to hurt my feelings over the donkeys. Because I'm like, well, I'm putting a grazing oil on. Like, that's so mean. That's so awful. It was at work, and I knew she didn't know anything about donkeys. I'm like, but you have to stop and think. A lot of these animals, especially like donkeys, I know Adrian will, if she's still in the chat, will add to this. But these are more like an arid desert type creature. They're here in the Midwest where we have lush grass. They get fat on air. And if they get fat, then it goes into their feet. They become lame. It hurts them. Like, the muzzle is a kindness. Like, you have to be responsible to bringing in animals that are not used to your area, your environment, your forage, or anything around them.
Yeah.
You kind of have to accommodate their needs. It would be super easy for me to let Ren just go and eat as much as she wanted, but eventually she'd break herself down because she'd get fat. She'd become like deathly obese. So, I mean, we just have to be understanding to one another.
Tasha said people think it's their way is the only right way.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Hidden Spring says, why are beehives not kept in a shelter for the winter? I always see people insulating the hives, but the bees die anyways.
Now, for us, we get a lot of moisture in our area because we're just up and down. So I didn't insulate anything because I was worried that I would have some type of moisture in there and it being insulated would.
But we do know people in our area because like Indiana is flat, so some of them do get pretty wicked wind through.
Yeah.
Like my sister's house, there's constant wind.
Yeah.
But here where we've got them is in a nook where they don't get straight wind either.
Yeah.
So we didn't.
Oh yeah.
Have to insulate them up.
And like if you were to go to Farmstead Smith's videos and look at her, she's got hers ratchet strapped down because of the wind possibilities in her area because of where we're at.
She's up on a plateau too,
yeah,
isn't she?
is. And so I'd be more likely to have a tree fall on my hives than I would for wind to actually knock them over, especially back where I've got them. I we actually Jesse's mom and dad keep theirs under a shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Some people do keep their stuff under shelter. It's just like whatever you feel works best for you.
Chris is comment.
Yeah,
I get
it's
5
true,
different answers to
though.
the same question.
It's true, and sometimes you can gauge like
That's
by how
funny.
the person is asking the question and like what route they're wanting to go by the questions that they ask. And I mean, it's
We got Josh and
hello, Josh. How are you? It's just kind of each to their own, you
Yeah.
know. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good. Hid Spring said, I just traded a bunch of duck eggs for 4 and goose eggs. 2 have already hatched and look healthy.
That's so
awesome.
good. I love trading like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you don't feel like you've lost anything. Or,
Yep.
I'm weird about money. I don't like handing over the money. I'd rather trade.
Crazy life heading out. Good night, all.
Good
Need
night,
to edit
crazy
a couple
life.
videos for
Yeah,
Ashley. Yeah.
you.
That's for sure.
Well, Neil, it was really nice talking to you. I'm glad that you got to visit with us for a while. You have a great day, bud.
Yeah.
Azaleas are toxic, yes.
Yeah.
Our rhododendrons, I feel like rhododendrons are really toxic to goats as well.
9252 life.
Hello, Chad. How are you? 9 to 5 to life.
Yep.
You always get that one tripped up a little bit.
Do I?
Yeah.
I said it right this time.
Did you?
I think so.
Hi, Chad. How are
A
you
little
doing?
dyslexic. Sorry, guys. Got to head out. Kids are supposed to be in bed back tonight. I'm going to have to club them like baby seals. Hey, one way to get them out. No,
You are not
maybe
right.
Ben
You
and
have
Joe
a
work
great
too.
night,
Just
Darren.
kidding.
Be easy on them babies.
Yeah. That's
Bye, Tasha.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, you're just chilling. Everybody's just chilling. That's good tonight.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of needed a just kind of chilling kind of night.
Yeah.
It's been kind of crazy.
Like Ashley said earlier, we've been running around like crazy, and then on top of that, it was a rainy day here, so
Yeah.
it's good to
I
wrap
figured I
things
took
up.
the day off to catch up outside and then it rained all day. I'm like, well, I guess if I looked at the weather app, I would have known. But
Yeah.
then sometimes that's wrong too. So.
Hidden Spring said, so I can't build a wicked awesome custom bee house with a bunch of hives inside. How big can one hive be?
You can do that. People do indoor hives where like they just butt up to the walls and their entrance is
Yeah, we looked at one today
Yeah.
that was a, what they called it, the observation
an
hive that was
observation
built into
hive.
the wall.
That was only 9 frames, but I bet if you stacked them a specific way, you could probably get away with making it would probably custom. You wouldn't probably be able to buy like we've got like deep
Ours
fruit
are mainly
boxes.
10-frame hives.
Yeah,
and some
and
people use
we
8.
beekeep with Langstroth hives, and I do foundation frames.
Yeah, there's
You
all
could do
kinds of different-
foundationless frames. You could do a long bar hive. You could do just about anything with bees. I mean, if they like where they're at and you let them do their own thing, they'll be successful. You might not be able to harvest honey as easy, but if you're there just to like save the bees and you're not about harvesting honey, then who cares how they build their comb, you know?
For sure. Bruce said, I put bees at my dad's house while all the azalea was blooming, and they were dead in a few days. Oh,
Oh
no.
no! You mean like the azalea? Are azaleas toxic to the bees?
I didn't notice that.
I didn't real. I know like
Do we have
I know
azalea?
we do, but like only like 2 or 3, and they're done blooming. They bloom along with everything else, so they probably don't get as much attention. Swarmstead, that scares me to death. Really? Was it the azaleas that killed them?
Emma said, I can only stay on a few more minutes. Got to check on my broody hen and healing Lacey before
Yeah.
I put the chickens up.
Okay.
Yep,
well,
that's our task.
that's no
after
problem.
this.
Yeah, we're getting ready to
Patty
probably wrap up
answered
soon.
about rhododendrons. In Mount Laurel, 2 shrubs toxic
Yeah.
to goats.
And Mount Laurel's so pretty.
Mhm.
My mom
Rhododendrons
asked
are
if
too.
I wanted those, and
Yeah.
that was the main reason why I said no.
Because we do have a couple goats that get out and we just don't want to
And
take the risk.
well, and like they usually like a goat won't eat until it's sick. Like it'll taste things, but like there's a reason I keep milk of magnesia and activated charcoal and tetanus antitoxin in my arsenal
Oh,
of
here's
things.
the answer. So he said the nectar is bad. That area had a billion azaleas.
Really?
Mm.
I didn't realize that. We don't have any azaleas, so like that makes me feel better.
Is there any other Bruce that you're aware of?
Yeah, that
Any
can
other
knock
toxic
your
to
bee
goats?
population down.
So that's
Well,
so-
bees.
Yeah,
He's not worried about the goats.
I know.
Bruce
but
don't care about the goats. Or do you, Bruce? You care about my goats?
I never thought about the nectar being bad in that instance.
I didn't either. I guess I just never really thought about it. I probably should do more research on that then to make sure I'm not planting anything that's like crazy not good for my bees.
Yeah. I said azaleas aren't toxic to bees. They love foraging them.
Huh.
I don't know.
Everybody's tucking their kiddos in. You guys
Yeah.
are making me feel like I need to go tuck mine in.
Yeah. Ours is probably asleep. She's
Yeah.
usually zoned out.
Yeah. She's like me.
In Spring says, really got to go. Editing my first garden building episode. Nice catching up. You guys take care. Don't work too hard.
Good to see you, Chad. Take care of yourself. Grant yourself some grace with that editing and filming and having to do the same for myself.
Yeah.
But speaking, since everybody is putting their babies to bed and putting chickens up, that is exactly what we should be doing as well. So I'm going to go ahead and call her quit. I don't think we have a softball game next Wednesday. There is going to be a Wednesday here in like the next 2 or 3 weeks, though, that we will not be going live because we'll be at the ball fields. Because we have like a game Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so it's going to be so much fun. Not. So until next time, guys, we are here every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, barring all ball games, tornadoes.
Hold on, here's the answer. I was wanting to see it real quick from Bruce. A few azaleas here and there won't affect them much. The bees do forage on them. Yes, I care about your
Bruce, thanks, Bruce.
That's good to know because we only got a couple of azaleas.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that made me worry. I'm like, oh my God,
Hold
what
on.
do I have
Heidi
planted?
also said, that's weird. I see them here all the time. I wonder if it's a type of azalea. I might need to look at that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, there could be different
It's amazing
varieties.
how even the different varieties have different characteristics like that.
June's bumping me with her tail. She knows it's time for me to go too.
Yep. So
all right, guys.
It
was good seeing everybody. We will see you guys next Wednesday. Take care. Stay healthy. Be kind to one another. And we'll see you next time.